Hello and welcome in lesson 9. Today we have quite some work. We have 4 new letters. So the fa, the qaf, the waw, and the ya. So the fa and the qaf are here. We're completing our list of consonants in the alphabet. The waw and the ya are here, the two last ones, and they are semi-consonants. It means that sometimes they're a consonant and sometimes they're a vowel. We're going to see this in detail. The pronunciation of those, the first one and the last two is quite straightforward. Fa, it's an F, a regular F, fa. Waw, so this is either a w as a W, or it's the long vowel U, and we will see when. This one is the consonant ya, or it's the long vowel E. This one is a bit more tricky to pronounce. It's like a K, but it's very backwards in the throat. It goes qa, qi, qu, qa, qi, qu. A friend suggested that maybe if you're lying on a bed and then your tongue is falling in your throat because of gravity, and then you try to pronounce a K, and then it goes qa. Actually, the back of your tongue has to hit your glotta. It's not very straight. I mean, it's not a movement of the tongue that we're accustomed to, so you'd have to practice quite a lot to find it. I recommend you go on YouTube and you just look for how to pronounce the qaf. So let's jump directly into how to write them. The fa and the qaf they have the same head, and they connect both on the left and on the right. Okay, it means that here we have the fa, F, fa, isolated form, and then the initial, just the head is remaining, the middle form, and the final form, the tail, is back, and the qaf is the works exactly the same, except that you have the tail, the shape of the tail is different, and there are 2 dots. Okay, so we have fa, initial, middle, final, qaf, initial, middle, final. It's pretty easy to spot because of the head and because of the dots. The waw and the ya, so the waw does not connect on the left. So we've seen before some consonant that do not connect on the left, so it's the same. You remember we had the alif that does not connect on the left. We had the dal, zal, ra, za that do not connect on the left. So the last letter that does not connect on the left is the waw. Okay, so that's what it looks like. The head is pretty much the same, but the tail is different, and it does not connect. So it's also extremely easy to spot in the word. The last one is the ya. So the ya isolated form is very curvy like this. Then the ya connects on the right and on the left, and then the final form. This initial and middle, they remind you of the shape of the ba, ta, tha. It's exactly the same shape, it's just a single tooth, except that it has 2 dots below. So here, initial and middle form of the ya, 2 dots below, isolated form of the long curvy shape, and the ending form connected on the right and with the same tail but less curvy as the isolated form. All this is not what is complicated. What is complicated is to know when to pronounce the waw as a consonant, wa, wi, wu, and when to pronounce it as a long vowel, u. Same for the ya, when to pronounce it as ya, yi, yu, and when to pronounce it as e. So the first thing is, if it's initial, it's always a consonant, wa, wu, and wi. So in initial position, it cannot be a vowel. It has to be a consonant. So we have wa, or of course with the alif, wa. No need to repeat the fatha, it's redundant, so we have wa. Then we have wu, and then we have we. This is the initial position, very simple. Then if it's in the middle position, let's take a word like this. We begin with another consonant and we have this. So here there is no way to know if it's a vowel or a consonant unless we look at two things. We look at the vowel before and we look at the vowel on it. Okay? So the only possibility for this wow to be a long oo, it's only one possibility. You have to have a dhamma before and a sukun on it. So this is boo, boo. All other configurations would mean that the wow is a consonant. So how to say this? Here, if I don't have a sukun but I have a fatha, buwa, buwu, buwi, buwa. Or if I have a sukun but before I don't have a dhamma, like this, bao, biu. So if this is the only case when I have boo as a long vowel, okay? So this is the only case. Of course, this would be buwa, whatever is before, because this means that there is a fatha here. Okay, so buwa, bawa, biwa. So the only possibility is this. Exactly the same goes for the ya. In initial position, it is always a consonant. Ya, you, yi, as an initial, and of course ya, because of the fatha, which is not written. Ya. Then, if we take the same be and ye, then here, the only possibility for this to be a long vowel, you have to be a kasra and a sukun on it. Here it doesn't show much because, well, let's do this. So here you see there is a kasra before and a sukun on it. So in this only case, this is beta, beta. Okay. Any other configuration, the ya would be a consonant. Like what? Like for example here, baita, baita, buita, buita. Or if of course there is here, it's not a sukun on it, bayata, bayuta, bayita. So the only possibility for this to be a long vowel has to have a kasra before and a sukun. Just like here we had a dhamma before and a sukun. So the dhamma is the corresponding short vowel to the dhamma, to the waw, and the kasra is the corresponding short vowel to the ya. So here, if I want to make it like systematic, I would have buta, bita. Here it's a long vowel, buta. And here it's a long vowel, beta. Any other configuration would be consonant. Like for example, bawata, like buita, like here if I go with the ya, I would have for example bayata, or something like this, bujita. Okay, so any case where the vowel before is not the corresponding vowel and there is not a sukun, then it has to be consonant. Like this would be biyata, biyata. It is a kasra before, but not a sukun, biyata. And here I have a dhamma before, but not a sukun, buwita. Okay, it seems a bit complicated, but when you see the examples with time, you're going to get accustomed. Just remember for now that initial position is always a consonant, and then anywhere else, you need two conditions to have a long vowel. Dhamma before sukun, kasra before sukun. Any other case, that would be a regular consonant. Okay, let's jump to the examples. Faqa, faqan, qafun, qafin, fataha, fajrun, fardin, farisan, daftar, ridaf, qasrun, qaddara, qabada, qist, taqashuf, shaqshaqa. So here we go to the examples with the waw and the ya. I'm going to comment them. So here the waw is initial, so it has to be a consonant. It carries a fatha, so this is ward, ward. In this one, the waw is initial, so it has to be a consonant. It's followed by an alif, so it goes wahidun, wahidun. Here I have two waw. The first one is initial, so it is a consonant, and it carries a dhamma, so it goes wu, wu. The second waw is preceded by a dhamma and carries a sukun, so this one is a long vowel, so it goes oo. So here we have wuhush, wuhush, wuhush. Here the waw is initial, so it's a consonant, it carries a kasra, so it goes wi, withaqun, withaqun. Here I have the waw preceded by a dhamma, carries a sukun, so this one is a long oo, shurut, shurut. Here the waw is followed by an alif, so it has to be a consonant, and it is doubled by the shadda, so it goes bawab, bawab. Here the waw is preceded by a dhamma and it carries a sukun, so it is a long vowel, qusur, qusur. Here the waw is final, it carries a double kasra, so it is a consonant, and it goes fatawin, fatawin, fatawin. Here the ya is initial, so it has to be a consonant, it carries a fatha, it goes yadun, yadun. Here it's also initial with a long alif, so it's a consonant, and here the waw is preceded by a dhamma and carries a sukun, so it's a long oo, yaqut, yaqut. Here it's the same, we have an initial ya with a fatha, it is a consonant, and we have a waw with preceding dhamma and sukun, so it is a long oo, yaqub, yaqub. Here I have an initial ya, so it's a consonant. We have a waw in the middle with a kasra, so it has to be a consonant, wi. And here we have a final ya with a shadda and a double dhamma, so this one is a consonant as well. So it goes yadawiyun, yadawiyun. This one is doubled by the shadda, yadawiyun. Here we have a ya in the middle, preceded by a kasra and carrying a sukun, so it is a long E. Taftish. Taftish. Here this one is tricky. We have an initial ya, so it's a consonant because it's initial, plus we have a second ya. It does carry a sukun, but it's not preceded by a kasra, it is preceded by a fatha. So this one is also a consonant. So we have two consonants at the beginning. Yaybasu. Yaybasu. This one is easier. We have an initial ya, so it has a consonant with an alif. Yabisun. Yabisun. And here we have an initial ya, so it's a consonant. And we have a waw preceded by a dhamma carrying a sukun. So this one is a long vowel. So this one goes yujadu. Yujadu. Okay, so this lesson, I guess you will have to listen a few times to get accustomed to when and how to pronounce, especially the waw and the ya. When are they consonants and when are they vowels, long vowels, and repeat the exercises a few times. Good luck and see you in next lesson.